Hey everyone, welcome back to new series of Python. In today's video, we will discuss about the Python loop control statement. Loop control statement changes execution from their normal sequences when the execution leaves the scope. All automatic objects that were created in that scopes are destroyed. Basically, we use three control statements in Python that are break statement, continue statement, and pass statement. First, we are just going to begin with the Python break statement. Python break is used to terminate the execution of the loop. And break statement in Python is used to bring the control out of the loop when some external conditions is triggered. Break statement is put inside the loop body generally after the if condition, and it terminates the current loop, that is the loop in which it appears, and resumes executions at the next statement and immediately after the end of the loop. If the break statement is inside a nested loop, the break will terminate the innermost loop. Here you can find the syntax, that is, we have to provide the for loop. Later on you can use the condition and we will be using the break statement. Now let's define this with an example. Let's say I just want to print the numbers from 0 to 10 or 0 to 9. Okay, so I'll be using the for loop over here, that is for I in range 10. If I'm setting it as 10, you can say that the I will be having the values from 0 to 9. If I'm setting it as 11, then we can say that the values will be taken from 0 to 10. Okay, now let me print I. So as I just print I here, you would be able to find the result. Here we have just got the result from 0 to 10 over here, right? Now what we have to do is we just want to break the iteration or execution from 5. Okay, so I'll be giving the execution. I'll be giving if condition over here. If I is equal to 4, because we just need to break from 5, right? So till 4, we just need to consider the element, and after 4, we don't want to go with the iteration or go with the execution. So I'll be giving the condition over here, and you can use the break statement. So as we just move on with the break here, you can see that currently we have just got the value we just got the value for I as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And rest of the executions are just terminated from the loop. Okay. And what if I just set the print function over here? Will I get the result? Let's try to get that. Here you can see, as we just use the break statement, it's terminated from the loop. So we won't be getting the result if we just set the print function after the break statement. Okay. So in order to get the result and not to exit from the loop, you can see we have to provide the print function over here. Okay. Now again, let me run this, and here you can see now we just got the result over here. Now let's move on to the other example. Let's say we want to just get the multiplication of 3. Okay. So I'll be using the for loop again over here. So for I in range, I'll be providing 1, 15. Usually we know the multiplication starts from 1, right? 1 into 3 or 1 into that particular number. So I'll be providing the starting value as 1, and I just want to find 15 3s are what will be the value and all. Okay, so I have just provided the stop value as 15. So till 14 only actually this will be considered. So if I just want to get the value 15, I have to give the stop value as 16, as 16 is exclusive, and till the value 15 it will be inclusive. Okay, and now let's move on to the print function and let's see what will be the result. So let me just run the file, and here you can see we have just got the result from 1 to 15. And now let me remove this. Okay, and what I have to do is I just want to perform the multiplication, right? So in order to perform the multiplication and to store the result, we have to use a variable. Okay, and I'll be using the variable name as mul. And into this, I'll be assigning the value. Okay. So we know currently in the variable I, we have just got the values that is 1 to 15, and you can basically provide that I over here. And here we just need to find the product or the multiplication table of 3, right? So afterwards, you can just use 3 over here. Now, let me move on to the print function. I just need to get the result in the print. So here, I'll be using the variable mul, and I'm going to provide an identification over here, mul. Okay. And again, let me run the file. And here you can see, currently, we just got the result from 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, then 21, so on. And that ends at 45. So we know 15 into 3 will be 45. Now, I just need to break this at the answer of 30, okay? And whenever we just receive the answer as like 10 into 3 is equal to 30, and I just don't want to get the answers from like 11 threes are, 12 threes are, and all. So we know in order to just stop the iteration or terminate from the iteration, we just use the break function, break statement, right? So before using the break statement, we have to provide the condition. So I'm going to set a condition. If the result, that is, the result is stored in mul, right? So if mul is equal to 30, I just want to break my loop, okay? So from this, we can conclude that if we just set likewise, what happens is that whenever I becomes 30 as the result, the loop will be terminated. Till 30, the values will be taken, and after 30, the loop will be just terminated, and the iteration won't be taken or iteration won't happen. So let me again print this, and here you can see that now we just got the result 3, 6, 9, 12. Likewise, we just got the result, and till 30 only we have just printed the result. Okay, so this is how we just use the break statement in Python. Now let's move on to the Python continue statement. Python continue statement skips the execution of the program block after the continue statement and forces control to start the next iteration. So when the continue statement is executed in the loop, the code inside the loop following the continue statement will be skipped for the current iteration, and the next iteration of the loop will begin. Okay, so here you can find the syntax. We can provide the loop and use the if condition. Later on, use the you can use the continue statement. So when you just use the continue statement, that the condition in which you have applied that iteration only will be skipped, and rest of the iteration will be continued again. Okay, so here we can just define this with an example. I just want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. So I'll be using for I in range 1 to 11, because I just want to print the numbers from 1 to 10, right? So let me use the print function, and let's say I, comma, we just need to provide an identification over here. Let's say ABC. So as I just ran this, here you can find the result. We have just got the result from 1 to 10 over here. Okay. Now, I just need to skip the iteration in 6. Okay. So if I want to just do so, I'll be providing a condition. So whenever I turns to 6, I just want to just skip that iteration and need to continue with the rest of the iteration. So I have provided the condition I is equal to 6, and I'll be using the continue statement over here. And later on, we have to use the else case, because we just need to get the rest of the iterations, right? So you can use the else case, and you can just go with print I. Okay, so I'm using identifier over here, that is continue, and let me move on to the result. And here you can see that as we just set the condition Like if I equal to 3, I mean not 3, I equal to 6, here you can see that the iteration of 6 is just excluded or skipped from these iterations and rest of the elements have printed. Okay. Now if I'm setting it as when I equal to 1, you can see that currently the first number, or whenever the value turns to 1 in I, that iteration is just skipped and rest of the iterations are taken. And now let's move on to the Python parse statement. That is the final statement that we are just going to use in the loop control statement. The Python parse statement is a null statement, but the difference between a Python parse statement and comment is that a comment will be ignored by the interpreter, whereas a parse is not ignored by the interpreter. So this is a syntax. It has got a simple syntax, basically using of the just parse has the that is the syntax. And when the user does not know what code to write, as well as the user simply want to use a parse at that line, the user can simply use that. Okay. Sometimes the parse is used when the user don't want to write any code to execute also. So user can simply places a parse where empty code is not allowed, it like in loops, functions, and in class definition or in if statements and all. We know whenever we just provide the condition, we also just need to set the code of execution. So sometimes we may not be knowing what code to write over there, or we don't want to write any code further. So in such cases, we can use a parse. So this avoids the error. Okay, using the parse statement usually avoids the error. So I'll be providing you an example. Let's say for I in range 10. So we have just provided the loop over here. So after providing the loop, next step is that we just need to provide the execution, code for execution. So I haven't provided the code for execution, and let me rectify. So here you can see that we have just got the result as indentation error. This is because expected and intended block after for statement in the line 68. Okay. So to avoid this situation, you can simply use a parse statement. So as you just use a parse statement, what happens is that error is just avoided by the Python interpreter. Okay. So whenever you wish to not to write a particular code, or you don't know what code to write over there, in order to avoid the errors and all, you can basically use the parse statements. So that's all about dealing with the loop control statement. So we have learned about the loop control statement, break, continue, and parse. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.